Hello and welcome to this week's video to help you begin developing your speech. We are going to focus on 3 keys to success. First, choosing your topic. 2, gathering information about your topic. And 3, a bit more about speech anxiety. Let's get started. So what is due this week? The goals for the week are to ensure you have a topic and are prepared to research and begin writing your outline by the end of the week. In the course materials, you'll find a sample outline, the preface worksheet, and you'll also find a link to a sample informative speech. With that in mind, here's what you need to complete. First, you need to complete the quiz for the week. The next deliverable is the discussion board, and that's going to include the topic of your speech, the general purpose, and the specific purpose. Here's an example. And it's in the discussion forum. The topic is Asian elephants, the general purpose is to inform, and the specific purpose is to inform my audience about the subspecies of Asian elephants. That's all you need this week. Remember, check the course calendar for what is due and when it's due. Well, how should you go about completing this particular assignment? Well, the first thing is finding topics. The easiest to do is to find something that you know about. What if you can't think of anything? Your mind's a blank. Talk to your friends. And if you come up empty with your friends, you can always check online. This is in the news area of your course, and I highly recommend the Northeast State Database. You can also check the 620 Informative Speech Ideas. The last 2 links are for later on when we're getting ready for our persuasive speeches. If I were considering a topic, I might select Stearman biplanes as a topic. It's because I've actually not only flown in one, but I actually got to take the stick and fly the plane. That was really cool. If I were putting together a discussion post, it would be as follows. The topic would be Stearman biplanes, the general purpose would be to inform, and the specific purpose would be to inform my audience about Stearman biplanes and their origin. That's all you need to submit. However, given the short turnaround, you may want to consider doing some research. Your personal experience is great, but you need to have at least 2 outside sources for your speech. An outside source is an expert or a collection of experts in the field. That means not you, and in my case with Stearman biplanes, it is certainly not me. It requires checking online, check the library, and we'll discuss a bit more about that next week. So let's talk about organizing your ideas. And what should you be thinking about when organizing your ideas? Remember, your speech needs to be in outline format, and we're going to give you a sneak peek about what's expected about the outline format here in a second. And you're also going to need the introduction, the body, and the conclusion for your speech. Now, the introduction of your speech includes the attention getter, the topic, your credibility. This is not a list of your sources, but your experience with the topic or your research for the topic. For my example, my credibility would be I've actually flown in a Stearman biplane and got a chance to fly it. Further, my research adds to my credibility. Then you're going to give the preview of your speech. So, a quick introduction for my speech would be, how many of you have flown before? How many of those who've flown have ever been in an open-air cockpit and actually taken a stick? I've done it in a Stearman biplane. I've also done some research on the plane and will share with you the history of the plane and what enthusiasts say today about this 75-year-old airplane, and finally tell you about my experience flying one over the skies around Tri-Cities Airport. In this introduction, the question's the attention getter, the statement about the plane tells the topic, the mention of my flying in the plane, and the research are my credibility, and the last segment is a preview of the speech. In the body of the speech, you're going to have 2 or 3 main points that you talked about in your introduction, and make sure you're going to include your resources and cite them in the body of the speech. The conclusion is wrapping up the speech in a neat package for the audience. Usually, you'll want to refer back to the introduction for your closing remarks. Now make sure you watch that speech. It's online and it's available to you in D2L in the content area for this week. Now let's take a look at an area that many of you may be concerned about, and that's speech anxiety. Last week we watched a video and understand the concepts. This week I want to give you a tip about how to overcome the main issues of speech anxiety. Here's an important number. According to the National Institutes of Mental Health, 74% of people suffer from public speaking anxiety. This means it's likely that you have some measure of anxiety. You may think things such as, I am terrified, I'll throw up, I'll faint, I will die. No, really, people think, I will die. I have been teaching over 20 years, and no one has done any of those things either in the classroom or in the online forum. No, you're not going to be the first. And you know how I know that? That is because I know you are a well-prepared and confident public speaker. Now what I want you to do is I want you to get a couple of note cards if they're available, or even a couple of pieces of paper. Go ahead, I'll wait. Okay, I hope you're back and that you have the paper or the cards. Now on the paper, you may have guessed it, you're going to write, I am a well-prepared and confident public speaker. You may not be thinking that's true at this point in time. And for you, it's probably not yet. However, as you say these words, you are programming your brain to ensure you will be a well-prepared and confident public speaker. Now, if you decide to ignore everything that we've talked about and just go ahead and wing it, well, all bets are off. However, if you follow the process and work hard, you will be a well-prepared and confident public speaker. Now, when you're done writing those down, what I want you to do is put those cards in some place you're going to see them every day. Put them on a mirror, a prominent place you look at, maybe on the refrigerator, perhaps on your course notebook, wherever you will see them every day. Now, send me a picture of your paper or your cards in their place, and you will earn 5 points extra credit for the week. Now, if you don't think that you can give a strong speech, check out this picture. If she can do it, I know you can do it. I'm looking forward to your speeches, and I'll be back next week to talk about further preparation and the all-important practice, 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 practice. Till then, I will see you online.